This segment is called Does Racism Really Exist? Because white people be on social media, even blacks. But most people say them be white people with fake black profile because some of them just be ridiculous. And I normally take her shopping for her family. I give her $100 for Kmart, $50 for Walgreens. And I've been doing that since she was 3, you know? And it didn't stop until she turned like 19 or something. But anyway, when she go to the store, she pick up things and look at it. And she show a lot of interest in it. Like one time she picked up a slurping machine. And she kept picking it up. And then she picked up a soda machine, to make your own soda. And she kept going back to it. So when she go back to Orlando, I go back to that store immediately and get everything that she pick up or show interest in. Because I want my baby to have the best Christmas memories in the world. And she never had a bad Christmas. Never. Not even when I wasn't working. I always gave her a good Christmas. And the guys on the job always say, man, you spend too much money on that little girl, man. Why you keep giving that little girl your whole Christmas bonus? Cause I spend a whole 600 or 1,000 to her and her mama and them so they can have a good holiday. You know what I mean? So we shopping. She about 8 or 9 years old. She shopping for her mama, family, friends, and when she got $100, I say that's it. We go to the cash register, right? Was an old white woman. Looked like she was too old to be working, man, to be honest. She had to be in her 90s. Especially working in a business store like Kmart. That store, if it wasn't 1,000 people in that store at all time, I don't know how many people in there. But it had to be over 1,000. So she marked a $100 bill. It was okay. It was brown. She hold it up to the light. And I couldn't believe what she said. Just money is fake. Do you want to leave now? Or you want me to call it the assistant manager? They call the assistant manager. So the assistant manager come by. Because the lady run some kind of button. She looked at the bill. And she said, I can tell you now the bill is fake. But if you want me to go disturb the manager, he might make it so you don't never come in this store again. I said, well, go show it to him so I can't come in this store again. So she left. She come back. And she said, I advise you to leave right now before we call the police. Because we've been playing with you too long now. I said, what you talking about? She said, the manager said, ain't no $100 bill where a president is wearing a black fur coat. I said, miss, I just got these bills off the job. They just gave them to him fresh out of the bank. And then the old lady, cashier, said, there ain't no $100 bill, son, with a president wearing a fur coat. I said, miss, look at him. And I pulled out all my $100 bills. I think I had like $1,400 or $1,600 because I just got paid also, right? And they said, we'll take one of them. I said, oh no. Them out my paycheck. Them ain't for Christmas. I said, I spent all my Christmas bonus on my daughter. And they say, how often do you make that? I say, every 2 weeks. Why? Are you a drug dealer? Remind you, all these people in line. The line is, the store is flooded. Everybody looking at me. 2, 3 cash registers down. Because, they hear everything. They hollering and screaming at me, telling me I got counterfeit money and I'm going to go to jail. So I say, Miss, I'm a golf course assistant manager. I'm not no drug dealer. And the old lady say, it take me months to make that. But you know something wrong. Why don't he just pay with one of the other $100 bills? I say, nothing wrong. Call the police. My daughter cried. Oh, God, Daddy. Please, God, Daddy. They're going to shoot you. The police come, God, Daddy. They're going to shoot you. I just know it, God, Daddy. I know it. And I say, baby, let's go. Man, we'll go get your stuff somewhere else. Because she really wanted them things. You know how little kids feel. She said, God, Daddy, can you give him another $100? I say, baby, let's go. So me and her going to the car, she crying, get in the car. And I just was sitting there, like, what just happened? And she say, God, Daddy, please let go. Why you just sitting here? I say, look up $100 bill Christmas edition. She looked it up. Oh my God, God, Daddy, they're real. God, Daddy, let's go back in the store. Let's go back. She jumped out the car. Come on, God, Daddy, come on. I said, baby, get in the car, baby. Baby, get in the car. I say, baby, I don't like to teach you about racism, but let me teach you this here. If we take this back in the store and show them what the website say, where is the U.S. Department of Treasury, or what they're going to say it's fake. You can get anything off the internet. I say, one thing about knowledge, baby, longer you know and I know it real, advantage us, disadvantage them. They the one running a retail business. And more than likely, they can be sued. Because they had no business talking to me in front of all them people, and they had no business talking to me in front of you. She said, can we please go, God, Daddy, then? So I left, right? I get to work that Monday. I told the general manager, man, the money is fake. He said, no, man, the money ain't fake. He said, I just got that money out the bank, fresh. It never been circulated, the lady said. She said, but let me run to the bank when they open up their morning and I'll come back with an answer, right? So when he come back, he come in my office laughing. I said, what funny, boss? He said, them $100 bills? I said, yeah. He said, they never been circulated and they worth $106. I said, what you mean worth $106? He said, it's a special edition what the bank was giving out to all their customers as a gift for Christmas. He said, but the bank manager said the teller should have told me to tell whoever get the $100 bill that they are special edition, and they need to be saved, vacuum sealed, and put up in a place, because the older they get, the more they worth. They're not a regular $100 bill. He said, them people you were dealing with is stupid. He said, it seemed like they would have made a phone call to the bank. I say, man. I say, okay, boss. I say, because me and my daughter looked them up. And we see they were real. And he said, I would I spend them at other places. See, can you spend that? I said, no, boss, it was too embarrassing, man. I said, there's 1,000 people in that store. My daughter crying. The people talking to me like a dog. They even called me a drug dealer. They asked me, was I the drug dealer? Because they say, the money I make every 2 weeks, they don't make a month. I don't want to go through that no more, boss. And, he dropped his little head. Because no one understands what a black man go through, To him, I'm the greatest guy in the world. He don't see no color. Only thing he sees is a great guy. So When I explained to him what black people go through, he dropped the head and he said, "Really? I thought all that was over with." I said, "You done told me that about 100 times, boss, since you been here." I said, "You told me that. How do they put an idiot with no degree or experience over somebody like me, who's a prodigy?" I said, "You remember?" He said, "Yeah, I remember." I said, "Okay, that's racism, boss. Now y'all tell me, race, cis, or racism or not? What do you think about the situation? Do you think it was racist, or do you just think it was an honest mistake?" But I did research, and Kmart have gotten sued a couple of times for accusing people of having counterfeit money. It say the proper procedure of Kmart, if it's children involved, take the children to the soda shop or the little restaurant inside of Kmart. And the parents go into a private room and discuss it like grown-up. And not in front of customers, and not embarrass them in front of their child. Which I know was wrong when you said they were doing it, but I didn't actually know they got sued a couple of times. Not that Kmart, but the Kmart's corporation. So what you think? Racism or not? Thank you and God bless.